So I don't know about you, but I absolutely love taking pictures of my food. I love creating new foods. I love seeing food. I really enjoy that creative experience. And maybe because I'm a creative, it is a part of my meal experience. So I am very excited today to have visuEats with us, where they have digitized food menus, restaurant menus. I'll let them tell you all the details about it, but I welcome you to stick around to find out more about this amazing product, about this amazing duo who is with me today as we get into the conversation more to learn more about them and more about the company. So, as always, we encourage you to share the video, get the word out there, and let others join in on this conversation and get started with this amazing product. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more.
Welcome to visuEats, the restaurant industry's leading end-to-end digital menu management tool. The visuEats mobile app is uniquely designed to make restaurants like yours more profitable while enhancing the dining experience for your patrons. Through high-definition photos and video menu displays, visuEats curates interactive and personalized dining for the ultimate Epicurean experience and the ultimate upsell.
Learning is the key to successful investing, and who doesn't want to invest in some way?
Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we focus on financial education, all with the aim of sharing our knowledge on personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We do this on the foundation of our faith in God.
If a more holistic approach is what you need, check out our Grow Faith-based financial coaching program.
Find out more about us at learngrowinvestclub.com
and follow us on all social media platforms at Learn, Grow, Invest. All right, so with me today, I have CEO of visuEats, Sophronia McKenzie. Welcome, Froni.
Hi, Renee. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And we also have the Chief Business Development Officer, Tanisha Wesker. Welcome, Tanisha.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on this amazing platform.
All right, so it is even more special to me to be hosting this interview. By the way, if you are not familiar, I am Renee McDonald, the COO of L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest. And it is my pleasure to welcome these two ladies, not just because they're boss ladies, but also because they're fellow Wilmerians, right? They're fellow Jamaicans, fellow Wilmerians, and not just any Wilmerians from my own year group. So it is a blessing and an honor to be sharing this space with them and to be sharing them with you, our audience. All right, so let's start with finding out a little bit more about Sophronia and Tanisha. Here at L.E.A.R.N Grow Invest, we love to learn about our CEOs, we love to learn about our entrepreneurs and our guests in general. So Sophronia, let's start with you. Who is Sophronia?
Who is Sophronia? So first of all, my name Sophronia is Greek and it comes from the origin Sophie and it means foresighted or wisdom. So right off the bat, I'm very smart. But just kidding. But for me, I'm a foodie and I tell people all the time, don't let my size judge you. I will eat. I do not leave my belly anywhere. I take it with me. Outside of that, family oriented. I love my baby, visuEats. I do. And for me is I'm very much family oriented, but I'm also very goal oriented. So anytime anybody working on anything and they have a particular goal that they want to achieve or anything like that, I'm like their go-to person. Because I just look at, okay, how do we get from the problem to the solution? How do we get where you need to get? So I'm very much, you can call it to say that I'm super focused. You can tell that that's me.
Awesome. Thank you. Tanisha, let us hear a little bit about you.
Do you know what? First of all, I just want to say I'm so proud of you, Renee, because look at you with this amazing platform. And I just think we're boss babes for, doing amazing things and seeing the growth from Woolmers to now. It's been exponential, so kudos to you and this platform. I have been watching you and seeing the growth, of yourself as an individual as well as, your business. And I'm really, really proud and I feel honored to be here. And in this capacity, I am Tanisha, for those who don't know. And linking to visuEats, I'm the Chief Business Development Officer working alongside Sophronia to develop this awesome, amazing, transformative, innovative platform that is creating, waves in Jamaica on a personal level. And for my background, I have professional experience in project and event management. That's what I do currently right now in London. An academic point of view, I have a master's in international development and a BA in global politics and international relations. And a lot of my background has swung between business and politics or international relations. So coming to visuEats now, it's been amazing for me to transfer all that knowledge, expertise, experience, and put it into something that we're so passionate about and something that we own that's ours, and as women in tech, we're just creating a storm.
Absolutely love that. Thank you. So what inspired you, Sophronia, to start this particular business?
So back in 2018, so pre-COVID, I was at Happy Hour with my best friend Jessica, and our thing is like on Fridays we just go out to eat and would like to pick a new restaurant and go. And while there, I was just always getting frustrated that in this digital era, they would always bring a paper menu for us to kind of understand and decipher what the menu items are. And I'm like, why can't I have the same orgasmic experience that I have on Instagram? Why can't they bring it into the restaurant? And then she said to me, well, you work in technology, so why don't you build that yourself? And when she said that to me, it's like a light bulb went off. I was like, yeah, let me start. My background is in software project management. So I know how to manage a team, a scope, a budget, all of that jazz, and get to the end result. So why don't I take that same experience and bring it over into visuEats? And so I started and just started building a team. And now we have visuEats.
I love that, and particularly because it is really using your skills to solve a problem, the pre-existing skills, what you went to school for, what you got certified in. And I remember when you got certified, because I'm also a certified PMP, and that was just like celebration, yeah, another one of us. And it was beautiful to see. It is beautiful to see that being utilized in this way as well. So for Tanisha, why did you choose visuEats?
Well, great question. And part of it was, as I mentioned before, that organic flow, right? I'm at a point in my life where, everything must make sense from an internal, external point of view, right? So if it flows, if it feels good, if it aligns with where I'm going, the trajectory for my personal life and my professional development as well, then it makes sense to follow through. And that was it for me with visuEats. I had watched Sophronia, just like we've all been watching each other. As I said, we've been on this amazing journey. And I think like-minded women, we appreciate and also celebrate our journeys, right? Mm-hmm. So as part of that celebration and watching and always being there, being a cheerleader, and support for Sophronia, it became natural and organic when I decided to leave from the UK to come back to Jamaica, when she was expanding the business out here, and globally, it just aligned really well with my story. So it was an organic connection. And I always watched visuEats as well. And it was a brand that I felt like I could be proud to stand beside and to help grow. So it aligned very well with me coming back to Jamaica and also the plan for expansion of our MVP in this region. So it was just a natural fit. And Sophronia is a great person. We work really well. We're very different, but very complementary. And, what she brings and what I add, it just brings a really beautiful story and also a great product that is transforming. Yeah.
Beautifully said. So now that you've given us a little bit of insight of as to your why and who you are, please introduce visuEats to our audience in case they have not yet heard about it and they want to know what is visuEats.
Tan, you want to do it, or you?
I love how you do it. It's your baby. And she does it so well. She's gonna ask you a few questions, by the way. Go for it.
What visuEats is. So, have you ever seen food on Instagram and you immediately want?
Yes. Yes, like I said that in my intro, right? I love seeing pictures of food. I love taking pictures of food. So it's very engaging for me.
Correct. So when we go to a restaurant and we're handed a paper menu, or COVID, we scan a QR code and we just bring up a PDF version of the menu. In the digital era, visuEats is providing a visual menu display. And then on top of that, understanding pain points, and specifically for restaurateurs and diners, what we've then done was evolve our technology into a turnkey solution. So that means as a diner, you would be able to book your reservation, you could do delivery, you could do payment processing through our platform. So we launched our MVP, which is a visual menu display, and we've rolled out the first iteration of reservation. So in our pipeline and our roadmap to come, all those features. So one platform for your restaurant's needs.
And I love it. So I am one of your downloaders, right?
Thank you.
I absolutely have the app. and the experience so far is very visually pleasing. It's something that you see it and you're like, I want more of this. I want to experience this, So kudos to you on that, on just how it has come together and what the experience is for us as your customers even now. Okay. So there are several restaurants on the platform now, you are in more than one country, correct?
Right. That's
right.
Yeah. We're also
tell our audience where they can utilize visuEats.
Right. Okay. So go ahead. But we're also, we do have a restaurant onboarded in Cayman as well. But in terms of usability, and I'm glad that you mentioned your experience, because user experience is the utmost priority for us. It's where we learn, where we grow, where we develop, and where we also get all the amazing feedback that we've gotten so far. But in terms of accessibility, it's an application, which means there are no real geographical boundaries. So even if you're thinking about traveling to Jamaica, and this is the amazing thing about gastronomy tourism and what we're bringing to the market, is that it's all the culinary delights that it's available right now in Jamaica that's available on the application. So you don't have to wait until you get to Jamaica to access Jamaican restaurants, right? If you're in the UK, if you're in the US, if you're in Canada, if you're in China, you can download the application right now and start to have that experience. So we launched the MVP in Jamaica. We also have a restaurant onboarded in Cayman. But we are looking and open and ready to expand into other markets as well. So at the launch, we mentioned that we will be, expanding even to the US, where Sophronia is based, in Q4. We may change that timeline because, it's a technology company, right? We're constantly growing and evolving. But we are looking to continue the expansion in Cayman, correct, Sophronia? So that we can, build out and not just have one on the platform, but of course Jamaicans here, as well as people traveling to Jamaica, are able to access the application visuEats on Google Play or their app store and get accessibility to all the restaurants so that they can forward plan as well and start to engage with all the restaurants and the menu items that we have on the platform. So Fernie, did you want to add anything?
The only thing I'll add is that restaurants are also reaching out to us, especially since our launch and the buzz that so we are in the process of onboarding a restaurant that is based in South Florida as well. So that would be 3 different countries that visuEats will be in.
Right.
Fantastic. So if there is someone watching and they want to be onboarded, how do they contact you?
visuEats.com.
And us more specifically, if you want to get right, and you can book a demo anyway online going to visuEats.com, and then that filters right into us. But we do also have an email address, visurev, that's VISUREV @visueats.com, so they can connect with us directly. We pay attention to every single email, and we can, the onboarding process is really simple as well. It's a visual menu, and it takes no more than 15 minutes to be uploaded and onboarded onto our system. And we do that because it's technology. We make it easy, we make it accessible, and as I said, there's no geographical boundaries. So reach out.
And that's awesome. I love that you use the term gastronomical tourism.
I always say to Sophronia, leave that word to me. Do not say it.
But I love it because really that's what it is, right? So on a personal note, when I'm traveling, the food is something that I'm looking forward to. So if I'm going to a particular culture, I know the things that I want to eat. I was going to Colombia, and I'm like, all right, so I'm going to research what is their local food, what do I want to eat there, or Mexico, or even the different states.
People underestimate how important food is as a part of the travel experience, right? Which is why we had to make sure people understood that visuEats isn't just about one single restaurant, but it should be a travel companion, because people spend the most money as well on food when they travel. That's the biggest part of their budget.
Correct. And that's one of the reasons too, in terms of strategic partnerships, we will be partnering with hotels, because when you say, for example, you go to Colombia, you're going to be staying at a hotel or maybe but you want to know what's around you, So when we partner with these hotels, when you go into the hotels, you're able to scan the QR code for visuEats. So we'll introduce visuEats to you at the hotel if you're not aware of it. But we recommend downloading the app, so whenever you're traveling, you're able to see what restaurants are going to be the area that you're going to travel to.
Absolutely beautiful. So the next thing I wanted to touch on as we continue this discussion, as a founder, as a startup, as a tech startup, as a female founder, as a Black female founder, all of that combined, what do you find is the greatest challenge that you have had on this journey so far?
So there are many. There are many challenges. But one of the main challenges that sticks out to me, and I would say, before even becoming a founder, being a female in the tech industry, and as I said before, I'm a software project manager. When I'm presenting to an audience, and usually it's an audience of men, right? Whether it's we're doing a conference call or whatever the case may be, or I'm leading a project, usually I'm leading men. And one of the very first thing that would happen to me is that they'd immediately assume that I don't know what I'm talking about. And so they will dismiss me or and then trying to navigate that dismissal to take control of the project is a battle. I've had instances where I worked at a company for years, and the person who was in charge of me, every time he spoke, he would say a word, he would literally stop and then ask me if I knew what that word meant.
Wow.
So yeah. Wow. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but even my co-workers would hear it. And my manager at the time would say to me, it's okay, he does it to everybody, but he doesn't. So, and that's not even being a founder.
Yeah.
So imagine now being a founder of a tech startup company. What I'm experiencing now when I'm speaking with prospective investors, or so I thought, instead of having business conversations, I'm more being invited to dinners. Yeah, and I can go on, and I can go on, and I can go on. But the biggest challenge is these people treat me as if I am a startup and as if I don't know and I should not be in this space.
Right. And I'm glad you touched on that, because I heard you speak in a different setting where you said where you said the business is a startup, but you are not.
Correct.
And I wanted you to just expound on that a little bit more as to what you're actually bringing to the table as an entrepreneur, as the founder of visuEats.
Thank you for that, Renee. It's so funny that you say that too, because I even look at it as a perspective of, if you're applying for a job, you apply with your resume, right? And it lists out your credentials, right? Some of these investors will say they invest in the founder. But do you end up taking your time to know the founder? What you do is send me your financials, send me your cash flow, send me your financial projection, send me your company deck, send me all of that jazz. But we are a startup. So what picture is that going to show you? You understand? So for me, I'm a certified project manager. I'm a certified Scrum Master. I have my bachelor's in accounting. I have my associate's degree in computer science. I have almost a decade of software development project management experience. I did door-to-door sales for almost 2 years. So when I'm listing those things out, I know sales. I know the hard knocks of sales. And when I did door-to-door sales, it was solely commission, and I made $35,000 within 1 year on commission, US, that is. So I know how to get money, I know how to maintain money, and I know how to build. You understand? And people don't even take the time out to try to understand and learn that. And when some do, they get intimidated. Because how dare I have all this knowledge, I have all this experience, and know what it is that I am doing.
Okay. Yes, and I love the passion with which you which you said that, because it is important that persons understand that there's more to the business than just the numbers, right? The entrepreneurs, the persons who are behind the scenes, the persons working on it, they're important. The leadership is always important, right? And we believe that a company is as good as its leaders. So.
All right. And I'd like to add one more thing to Renee, which is very, very important on my journey too, because I moved to the United States with just $100 in my pocket. And the very first job out the gate that I got was a door-to-door sales job. And I built that $100 into the $35K that I mentioned. And not to mention, exponential that my whole career has went. So I know how to build from scratch. So nothing was handed to me. You understand? And even if people have the perception that she was born with a gold spoon in her mouth, that spoon was taken out. And I had to start my entire life from scratch.
Right. And you're doing an amazing job. You're doing an amazing job. So Tanisha, is there anything from your perspective that you'd like to add in terms of challenges faced in this space?
Yeah, first of all, I want to just echo what Sophronia has said. And it's difficult when you are smart, but you also look good and take pride in yourself. And there are ulterior motives, right? And unfortunately, sometimes the expertise isn't at the forefront of the conversation of the receptors, even though you are very clear, about what you want to emanate from you. It's not always received in that light. So, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because we're not going to lower our standards in order for anyone to take us serious or fit a particular stereotype where, if you're in tech, then you must be a bit droopy or this or that. Do you know what I mean? Whatever stereotypes are there, I've never believed in fitting a mold. And as I mentioned before, I really believe in being organic and being who you are and having that come to the forefront and, being smart, being intellectual, having, experience and expertise. That should come to the forefront if that's who you are. And that's what we bring to the table. Sophronia has the experience from the technology side. I have the experience from the business side. I've worked with trillion-dollar, billions and trillions, big companies, not Jamaican dollars, US dollars. And I've been at the very top in those organizations, working very closely with the founders. And, it was an all-inspiring journey for me to learn how to deal with multiple markets at the same time. And that's multiple markets in different continents. So I'm talking about building in Taiwan at the same time as building in Europe, at the same time as launching an emerging market in the Caribbean. That's my experience, and that's what we bring. So when I'm talking about we have launched or MVP in Jamaica, understand that visuEats is global and it's going global. It is global and will continue to have that traction globally because you have two individuals who know how to grow a business, and start small and scale. So that's exactly what we're doing. And I guess some of the difficulties, have also been when you get into a space, people expecting like a big name, like a backing, they're not expecting it to be you. They think that you have to be walking, or if you speak confidently, it's on the back of somebody else. And the truth is, we're the name. It's Sophronia and Tanisha, and it's lovely to meet you. And that's it. And what we're coming with is, or Rolodex of experiences which are credible with big companies, international companies, and we mean business. So I think for us, it's take us seriously, understand that we're here. We're here to occupy space. We're here to dominate some spaces. And we want to grow and we want to help as many people along that pathway as well. And I have to take this moment just to give massive kudos to our team, which is, cross-functional, and they're all over the place. We have people in Colombia, like you mentioned. We've got teammates in Trinidad. We've got teammates in, Guyana, not Trinidad, Guyana, in the States, here in Jamaica locally, so we're building a global company and a global brand with global people who come with different perspectives and nuances. So we're trying to get the best of everything that we've got, culminate it into this this product, and deliver the best experience for the users.
Correct.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies. I want to take a moment just to acknowledge our audience and say thank you for joining us. And please, if you have any questions for Sophronia and or Tanisha, please drop them in the comments and we will get to them as soon as we complete our talk here. All right. So we've spoken about the challenges. We've spoken about where you plan to go. We've spoken about, what visuEats is and why it's important. Why would someone want visuEats from the client perspective, but also from the restaurant's perspective, right? As a restaurant owner, let's just build out on that some more. Let's expound on that piece. As a restaurant owner, why would visuEats be enticing to you? Why would it be good for business?
So for
Go ahead, Fran.
So for restaurateurs, right off the bat, the fact that we are a visual menu, data have shown and proven that restaurants who present photo menus increase their revenue by at least 30%. The data is there to back that. And so right off the bat, we're providing that to our restaurants. And the next thing too, because we are a turnkey solution, our goal is to reduce the cost on technology for restaurateurs. When you enter a restaurant, they have so many different lines and cables and cords and tablets and things of that nature. And again, background being in software development, but not just any software, is actually software as a solution, right? I'm taking that knowledge, putting it into visuEats. So with that reduction in cost, increase in revenues, and I'll throw it to Tan to add any additionals.
Right. So, I mean, no restaurant is going to say no to a 30% increase in revenue. We have yet to meet one who says no to that 30% increase. But also a more seamless experience, right? So we've just launched, for example, the first iteration, as Sophronia mentioned, of reservations. Imagine turning up, you've woken up one day. I'm a restaurateur. I've woken up one day. I go into my admin panel and I see that I've already got 40 reservations. What does that do for me as a business owner? It helps with my morale. It helps with my posture. It helps with, how I approach my day. And it also informs, the amount of product that I need to, have available and accessible in order to meet the demand. Versus, I've woken up today, I'm not really sure where or how or, if I'm going to get clientele. So just that first, iteration of our product, it's a game changer. So when we say transformation, we mean it, and not just on a technology point of view, but in terms of the service that they deliver as well. It helps to inform them. It helps with their preparation. It helps with their delivery. And as I said, everyone feels good when they know, okay, I'm going to have an extra 30, 40 people come through my door, and it helps them to get structured as well. Because we see that a lot of our restaurants, they're very skilled and provide excellent food. However, some, not all, some also need a little bit of assistance in terms of structure and the education on the business development side. So visuEats inadvertently becomes a tool to help them become more streamlined.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Love that. I completely agree. There are clear benefits to being able to see beforehand and to prepare well. So there's also less waste because you are absolutely sure, or you're more sure about what is coming in and what you should be preparing, what you should be taking out of the freezer instead of,
and the demand as well. The demand might say, hey, we're having a lot more people interested in 4 and 5 o'clock than at 8. So, let's ensure that we have the staff coverage, for that time. So just simple things like that. It's not just the technological benefits.
Yes. All right. So we know you did a launch here in Jamaica recently. Is there any other major highlight that you'd want to share with the audience about visuEats on your journey thus far?
I mean, the first thing that I'll say is from our launch, the number of downloads have increased a lot. So even in one day, we're looking at 50 downloads, of just the app. And then in terms of onboarding, before we used to go out and be knocking on the restaurant door and it's like, hi, you want to meet us? We're visuEats, but they're actually coming to us. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that too. I'm looking forward to it. But go ahead, Tanisha.
Yeah, you saw me cheering on because we got the recap video today, and man, we look good. Do you know what, right? When you're part of it, you're so into that moment. So now that a week and a bit has gone by, just watching that recap, it feels really surreal. Oh my God, that was what was happening in the back or in the side or around that corner, and some people who you didn't get to engage with other, oh my God, he turned up. So it's a really amazing, for me, experience just seeing the fullness and the depth and the breadth of the event, because we're so focused on getting the technology, ensuring that people understand the product and so forth. And it was just good to see people having fun and enjoying it, so it's been a great launch. As Sophronia said, the downloads speak for themselves. The media that we had prior and post has been really amazing. And I just want to shout out, our media personnel or PR guy who may not want to be named, but he was absolutely fantastic in helping us get on the various platforms that supported us. And as I mentioned earlier, Renee, just being on your platform as well, helping to get that message out to reach different audiences. It's been fantastic for us to help to share our good news of this.
Thank you so much for that. We're looking forward to seeing that recap video, right? Because
it's coming.
You're supposed to be posting it, but yes, I certainly was watching the clips of the launch and everything, and it really indeed was a well done event, and kudos to you both and the team for the execution of that.
Yeah.
So as we talk about visuEats and what it does, naturally the question is going to come as to why would I switch to visuEats from whatever platform I'm on now? Because there are, and you alluded to it earlier, Sophronia, there are platforms now that I can go on and order my food and have it delivered, or I can order it and go pick up. Why would I switch to visuEats?
So for us, our secret sauce is the experience, right? The user experience. And again, background in technology. So it's not two people who had an idea, or say when I started it, I just had an idea. I was like, let me just run with it, and I have some money in the bank, because I didn't, and just execute. It's not like that. It's literally, and the team is very strategic too. Everybody that's on the team is an expert in their area. And our biggest thing is the user experience. And I've had conversation with our restaurateurs, and I've heard about the indirect competitors, because again, visuEats is not a delivery app. visuEats is not a reservation app. It's a turnkey solution. So I'm yet to meet a competitor that is a turnkey solution. So I've heard about the indirect competitors, and I've seen their gaps. I've seen their flaws. So with that being said, our secret sauce is the user experience. And when the users download our app and see what we've had thus far, they'll see the difference. And most importantly, the menu items that are on our platform are current.
Fantastic. That's super important. And I also love, yes, and I also love that you go to the actual restaurants and do that photography, because now we can say, yes, this restaurant created this meal. So when I go there, I can truly expect what I'm seeing on the platform. Right?
That's photography as well. And that we set a standard with our photographers to say, if a restaurateur is saying to you, add a little bit of this and a little bit of that, if it's not how they serve it, do not add it. We're only snapping a photo of exactly how it's served.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I was going to say that, for those restaurants who might be watching, or people who may know of restaurants, if you've already got high standard photographs, like, we can do that onboarding process even sooner. We don't have to go in. Photography is an add-on. We do have a lot of restaurants who are already making their strides and doing well, and they may have content but may not know how to repurpose it through, the right channel. So visuEats becomes that platform to help, a journey that they may have already started. So for everybody, they're not starting from scratch. We do have some great restaurants who already started a process, and for us, we're just helping them. We're a catalyst and also creating that platform. So photography is only a small aspect of what we do. It's really the technology. It's really that user experience that Sophronia mentioned. And that's what's transforming the industry and the dining experience.
And for the restaurants who would say, yeah, but I have my images on Instagram. Do you really want your patrons to come to your restaurant and be scrolling through Instagram to try to... And then when they do find one and show it to the waiter is going to say, oh, that was last season. We don't serve that anymore.
Yeah.
Or user experience right then and there. And with visuEats, we don't do that.
And that's a personal pain point for me, because since I've returned home, I have been to too many restaurants and seen on their text-based menus that have been going on for probably 5 years. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's out of stock, or we don't do that anymore. That's a personal pain point, because I took so long anyway to decide on what I wanted. And when I made the decision, you've not got it. And you haven't had it for a while.
Yeah. Yes, that is very important. Very, very important point. They should have what is on their menu. And the other thing with the paper menu for me, in terms of that experience, I like going to new restaurants. So when I go to a new restaurant and I get a paper menu and I'm not familiar with these items, it's like, what is this? And I have to now rely on the waiter to say, okay, is this good? Should I try this? What is a part of this meal?
Renee, you're triggering. You're triggering, because too many times, those waiters may or may not be confident, comfortable, have experienced the food themselves to really give you an authentic feedback. You know what I mean? So, yeah, unfortunately, this is how visuEats solves it. Like, we're really solving a problem that a lot of people can identify with. And I've gone and read like 10 different items on that one menu. So I think, oh my God, I'm getting tons of food. Like 3 of the items was a dash of something. It was a sauce, a Jew here, and a this and a that. And then I get a really tiny plate, and I'm like, but I'm still hungry.
Exactly. So it is, especially for persons who enjoy the culinary experience. It will be something worth downloading. So again, for our audience, if you are in that group of persons that enjoy the culinary experience and you want it to be elevated, then we do invite you to go ahead and download the visuEats app. Right? Where is it available? Let's put that out there for our audience.
It's on both platforms, and that's one of the things too. When starting out a tech company, most companies launch on the Play Store only and just have an Android. But visuEats is available both now. You can download it on the Play Store or the App Store.
Okay,
and
fantastic.
of course, the traditional website as well, visueats.com. You can go on and start experiencing. We're on every Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, everything at visueats.
Beautiful. So I'm going to take a moment now just to, pull from our comments. Our audience, they've been in the chat. So let's see what they've been saying. Sharon Carruthers, hi Sharon, welcome. She says she's so proud of you ladies, and she's absolutely confounded and infuriated that chauvinism is so alive and well still. And you have truly inspired her. So, that is beautiful to hear. Thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing that.
Thank you.
And Tasha Ray says she loves this because she hates when she doesn't get what she sees.
Right. That's been a pain point for many of us.
For many. And then Billy is asking, where has the app been launched? So yes, we did mention it, but I'm sure you don't mind saying it again.
Okay.
So it has been launched. Last week we launched it in Jamaica. We launched our minimum viable product. So it is available now via Google Play Store as well as our App Store. And you can also access us on all social media platforms to stay connected with us. But if you are local or global, just visit visuEats.
All right. Thesia says, congratulations.
Well, Marianne.
The whole reunion happened.
It's like my hi, honey.
Yes. And Sharon again is saying it's very disappointing for her too. And this is about the menu not being able to get what it is that you're asking for. And having taken forever to choose, and then it's not available, and then my next item also not available, and then have to settle for something that you don't really want, and it really takes away from your dining experience, right?
For sure. And can we talk about Sharon's display pic? You're looking lovely, Sharon.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
And finally, Carrie, hi. She says she loves the innovation in the space. It's so needed. Great job, ladies.
Thank you, Carrie.
Many persons are here cheering you on. And as for our audience, as you're cheering them on, be sure to support them as well and share this video so that more persons can become aware of visuEats and start utilizing the platform and getting more exposure to what is being done here. So, as we go into our final segment, we, of course, are a financial and investor education platform. Mm-hmm. And so we always ask our guests an investment question, and that is, what is your personal investment strategy?
So that's a very good one. So Tan.
Love it. Great one, pass. Okay, so one of the things that I will attest to, and I feel really proud to say this, is from a personal investment point of view, and I'm glad I'm the one saying this and not Sophronia. She's invested over $250,000 into visuEats, right? She's gonna cry. She loves cry, right? And
Hi.
I mean, that's just a small amount. And we make note of this because we're not asking for stuff that we're not willing to give to contribute ourselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't even compare to the sweat equity, to the late nights, to the pitches that we're constantly doing, the accelerator programs we continue to, engage and be part of, to get grants and funding. So we want to continue down that street. Right now, I'm enrolled into an accelerator program, though based in JA. I'm doing a USA accelerator program. So we'll continue to pursue the grant funding avenue, as well as personal investment, as I mentioned. And we are also open for, investors who would like to engage with us to, have conversation around the possibilities for equity within visuEats. We do have a company deck, which highlights all the benefits, all our strengths, all our financials are up to date. We can share that information readily. And if there's a venture capitalist, any type of private investment, we are open and we welcome those conversations. But we're still pursuing, our own funding and grants and different programs that could also bring capital. And we've launched now, right? So the restaurants are also paying to be on the platform. So we're really excited to be bringing in revenue through our core product, as well as the additional features that we have. That was my start. Sophronia, you want to go?
Yeah, so I think from the question of like personal investment, Tanisha said it, right? So I would be lying to you and telling you that I have stocks here and there, because my stock is in visuEats and in visuEats team. That's for me. But before like really getting into visuEats, I did stocks, like I did Zoom, so I did very well right before when COVID hit. That was good. And I did. Really, it was Zoom. That's all I can remember. But personally, it's just really visuEats. That's where I'm at right now, visuEats.
Yeah, and sorry, just to add to that, like my own journey, if we're looking at outside of visuEats, I've also done some stocks and trading in the UK with like Royal Mail and different, made a good, a healthy chunk. And we are planning with visuEats to be listed on as an IPO as well. So, it's part of our trajectory. So, yeah, but we're very open as well to having conversations and seeing people who want to help us grow and to be part of that journey with us. And we encourage them to reach out.
Can you imagine a female listed?
Right?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are for it. We are for it. And it's so funny. I thank you for that wholesome response, because you answered my other question about the capital investment. And you also answered Sean's question as to whether there would be an IPO.
Absolutely.
That's one question we can rely on our audience at L.E.A.R.N.
For sure. And I mean, it's a great question because it means people already see value, right? And are already interested to have, some type of ownership and engagement with the brand. So,
Exactly.
I'd even encourage him, even at this point, before we're listed, stay updated with us, download the app, email us, be part of the journey from now. So that when we get to that stage, it becomes an easier transition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Follow us on socials.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the final question that I have for you is, what books are you currently reading?
So I have one on repeat, right? So Think and Grow Rich is one, but I also have No BS Marketing to the Affluent, right? Which I highly recommend because it just helps you to elevate your thinking and your strategies as well, so that you're not always connecting with the people within your locale, and you are looking to engage and trade with those that really have the capital in order to help and assist and to benefit from what you have to offer.
Okay. And then for me, I'm an audiobook type of girl. And the most recent book that I listened to was Lean Startup. But I would say this because it's a book I go back to. Rhonda Bryan, The Power, and 48 Laws of Power.
Okay. All right, fantastic. Thank you, ladies. I mean, I post mine freely on social media. Each time I'm switching a book, I'm posting that. And currently, I am reading Your Money Counts, and that is by Howard Dayton. And I'm reading several things. I'm, also, I'm listening to an audiobook as well that is about communication, and I'm also reading the Bible.
Right. The good
like
book.
that's my.
The good book.
And I'm also reading actually a book called the Disciples Cross. So it's quite a bit, and clearly I don't read everything every day, but those are the three that are currently in my arsenal. So again, thank you, ladies, so very much. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you and just getting to learn more about visuEats. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to talk in such a relaxed environment so that we know, our audience gets to know Sophronia and Tanisha, and not just the brand visuEats, but who is the brand, right?
Thank you.
So if there are any final questions from our audience, now is the time. We have 2 minutes for that, maximum 2 minutes. So you can drop those in the comments. If there are no other questions, I'll hand over to Sophronia and then Tanisha to give just your closing thoughts.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and start. So I would want to leave you listeners with this, separate and apart from download the app. But something that I've been carrying with me on my journey as a founder is find your people. It doesn't have to be family members. It doesn't have to be friends that you've known for years. It could be somebody that you just meet. But find your people. And your people, since Tan being on the team, it will make it aligned and assigned.
I mean, it's hard for me to talk that because I'm a people. Like that's what I do. I love people, and I always say people buy people, not products, right? Yes. But if there is something that I could add to that point is become excellent at what you do. Become excellent. Don't dabble with it. Don't do it today and not tomorrow. Be consistent with what you do, whatever that product, whatever that service, yourself as a person, your governance, be excellent at what you do. I strongly stand by it, because when you are excellent in what you do and what you create, when that is applied to a marketplace, money comes, right? Value attracts money. So stop trying to chase the money and become excellent at creating that value. Your product will sell itself.
Ooh, that's excellent. So we have 2 quick questions. Sean is asking Sophronia, what is it like being a CEO?
The team think we are not human. It has its challenges, but when you have a team that believes in what you're doing, it makes it much easier. But it's not the easiest title to have. I will tell that in full transparency.
Yes, and just to add, I often say to our own CEO, that's Jermaine McDonald, my husband, I often say to him that, as a CEO, I see him as the one who carries the vision, who has the vision, and his responsibility, therefore, is to impart that vision, to share it with others so that we can now catch that vision and run with it, right? And that's a major responsibility of every CEO.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So Okima was asking about the book that you mentioned, Tanisha, about marketing, and I think Carrie answered that.
Yeah,
no BS marketing.
No BS marketing to the affluent. And there's a series of no BS in the business world, but I particularly like this one because I know a lot of people, when they're thinking about going into business, a lot of times we think about the people who we know, right? Yes. We're not thinking about bringing a product to market. We're thinking about bringing a product to our good friends. Many times our good friends are not our clients. So even identifying who your ideal client is, and then getting your product to the spaces and places where those people are, becomes non-negotiable when you really want to start thinking about trading. So yeah, it helps you to get your mind and your product into the correct space.
I always,
Thank you.
if you're going to have a business and if your customers are your friends and family, you don't have a business, you have a hobby.
Right. Awesome. So thank you again, ladies. I truly pray God's richest blessings over both of you and the venture of visuEats. I pray that He will continue to guide your steps and to give you the wisdom and the courage that you need to step out and to continue breaking barriers and make a difference and to transform our gastronomical industry.
That word.
You did well. You did good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being with us, Sophronia and Tanisha.
Thank you, Renee. Bye-bye.
Welcome to visuEats, the restaurant industry's leading end-to-end digital menu management tool. The visuEats mobile app is uniquely designed to make restaurants like yours more profitable while enhancing the dining experience for your patrons. Through high-definition photos and video menu displays, visuEats curates interactive and personalized dining for the ultimate Epicurean experience and the ultimate upsell.